The MCU is filled with lovable fan-favorite characters. Yet, there is a list of characters who haven't found a proper audience or are disliked by the fans. So today, we are going to rank the most disliked characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's begin. Number 10. Mr. Fantastic. The debut of Mr. Fantastic has been one of MCU's most anticipated moments. But his appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a letdown, delivering the weakest portrayal of Reed Richards to date. The main issue with Krasinski's portrayal of Mr. Fantastic is that he is introduced as the smartest man alive, but almost immediately proves that he is not. The lack of awareness by Mr. Fantastic makes him appear much more foolish than intelligent, and much more arrogant. Number 9. The Eternals. The critical response to Marvel's Eternals has been disappointing, to say the least. The main issue is that the character's conflicts with its cosmic stakes. Eternals may have a lot of potential, but the entire movie feels unfinished and disjointed. The end-of-the-world scenario and the looming presence of the Celestials are both intriguing concepts. Yet, the film never fully explores them. As a result, Team Eternals feel unresolved, and the overall critical response has been negative. Number 8. The Captain Marvel. There's no doubt that Captain Marvel could become one of the best characters in the MCU. However, trolls have criticized her left and right, primarily because she comes off as arrogant and a bad fit among characters that they've known for years. Though the announcement of Brie Larson as the actress taking on the role was met by most with jubilation. This was exacerbated upon the release of the film, as some fans now hate both Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. Number 7. The Mandarin. Iron Man 3 seemed to continue the story of the 10 Rings and the Mandarin. But the Mandarin in the film was actually a fake created by Aldrich Killian. Killian used the 10 Rings name to create a fake threat to increase his own power. The real 10 Rings later appeared in Shang-Chi. This further weakens Aldrich Killian's character, which reveals that he was the true Mandarin. This has angered many fans, as they had expected a more faithful adaptation of the Mandarin. Number 6. Ultron. Age of Ultron introduced one of the deadliest enemies in the MCU. However, that same character also quickly became one of franchise's most disliked antagonists. One key reason for Ultron's failure was his lack of motivation. Additionally, some fans criticized James Spader's performance for humanizing Ultron too much, while others disliked the changes to his origin, which gave credit to Tony Stark instead of Hank Pym. As in comics, Ultron was created by Dr. Hank Pym. Number 5. Gore the God Butcher. Fans were excited to learn that Christian Bale would be playing Gore in the MCU. Bale is known for his transformative performances, and many people were eager to see him take on the role of the bloodthirsty Gore. However, in the film, Gore was severely underutilized. While the comic book version of Gore is one of the most dangerous villains in the Marvel Universe, Bale's version was only able to scare some children. While Gore may not be one of the worst MCU characters, his adaptation in Thor: Love and Thunder feels like a missed opportunity. Number 4. U.S. Agent. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier explored the ongoing legacy of Captain America. While Sam Wilson is the rightful successor to the title, the government chooses to appoint John Walker, This decision is met with immediate backlash from fans, who hate Walker so much that he ultimately serves his purpose as a villain. Number 3. Natalie Portman's Mighty Thor. Natalie Portman's character was introduced as Thor's love interest, but she was underdeveloped and poorly written out of the movie series. She returned in Thor Part 3 as the Mighty Thor. Unfortunately, the movie failed to capitalize on the Mighty Thor's true potential. This version of Thor has lacked any real sense of agency, only gaining her powers in the first place because of a blessing bestowed upon her by the Odin. Number 2. Chris Pratt's StarLord. When StarLord was introduced in the Guardians of the Galaxy, he quickly became a fan favorite. Yet, his actions in Avengers Infinity War changed everything. In Infinity War, the Avengers almost managed to defeat Thanos. Unfortunately, StarLord intervened and began striking Thanos after he learned of Gamora's fate in Vormir. Thanos was then able to complete the Infinity Gauntlet and snap his fingers, wiping out half of all life in the universe. StarLord's outburst cost the MCU dearly, and fans have had a hard time forgiving him for that. And number 1. SheHulk. SheHulk, attorney at law, holds a disappointing MCU record on the reviews. This series was a lawyer show rather than a superhero show, even if this assertion was repeatedly challenged throughout the series. Not only that, SheHulk's CGI has been heavily criticized. The flippancy and humor of SheHulk likely made some audiences hostile, given that it regularly parodied some of MCU's big hitters and downplayed Bruce Banner's experiences. In addition, the show made fun of its toxic fanbase and may have made these fans even more defensive. These challenged its audience expectations of what an MCU show could or should be. So, for these reasons, SheHulk is ranked as the most hated MCU character at the moment. Well, hope you enjoyed the list. What should be our next rankings? Comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to SL Made. See you next week.